We'll now move to 5.2. I would invite Max Tweedy, Rainbow Advisory Panel. No mai haere mai, Max, welcome. And I'll leave it to you. I'm going to ask for, before you start, a mover and a seconder, please, for the public input. First in, first served.
Happy to second,
So,
Richard.
Councillor Collins, is that you move, and then Councillor Hills second?
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Yeah, ka pai. So, Max, no mai haere mai, all yours.
Kia ora koutou katoa, ngā mihi nui kia koutou. Thank you, Councillor Alf. It's really fantastic to have the opportunity to speak to you all today about the Thriving Communities strategy. It's been a really fantastic opportunity for us as panels to be involved in the process of kind of consultation and shaping this strategy within council. And one of the things I think that we're really excited about, and I guess is probably the key piece that I wanted to speak to you about today, was the kind of excitement that our communities had when we did cross-panel workshops and the discussion around what this would mean for our community organisations and community groups. One of the things that we're most excited about was council empowering communities to basically to give communities the resource to provide the solutions that they know that their communities need. So for council to kind of get out of the way and be able to resource communities directly to be able to deliver the solutions that both council and communities actually want. And I think one of the fantastic examples of where this has kind of happened under the status quo, which I think is a pretty good model that we looked at in terms of how this might be implemented, is Proud Centres. So when I'm not wearing my Rainbow Communities Advisory Panel hat, I am the Executive Director of the Auckland Pride Festival. And so the Proud Centres initiative by council started in 2019 and was started as in response to the 3 questions report that the Rainbow Community Advisory Panel had done. And that 3 questions report looked at kind of the needs of rainbow communities in Tāmaki Makaurau. And Proud Centres was developed as a response to one of them, was that there were not enough kind of free pride events throughout Tāmaki Makaurau, and so Auckland Council opened up their community centres to program them as Proud Centres, which allowed community to go in there and program free events across the month of February, which has been really fantastic. And last year there were over, I think, about 150 individual activities throughout the different centres, I think, in over more than 30 centres. And I think what that is a really fantastic example of council providing what they have and what they know best. So that was the venues, any tech resource they had, whether that was projectors or microphones, but then also directly resourcing community to do what they do best in those community centres. And so what that enabled was kind of community building. There was a range of events from community workshops. There were potluck dinners, but also big kind of performances and the like. And so what it actually enabled was all these local communities to kind of come together. And I think that's the real essence of the Thriving Community strategy, is council, I think, perhaps being more aware of its position and being able to resource communities directly, so that communities are able to provide the solutions that actually they know best how to provide. So, as a kind of cross panel, I think that was one of the things that we're most excited about. And it's a really we think it's a really fantastic strategy. We're really looking forward to seeing how it'll be implemented and the kind of benefits of this. But when it was reported back, we thought it was a really fantastic strategy. And so we're really excited about its adoption at today's committee.
Ka pai, Max. Thank you. I'm going to open up for any pātai, any questions or whakaaro comments. That's because I got nothing in the chat bar, because what you've said is just so precise. So there's no pātai. I'll go through to whakaaro. Councillor Dalton.
Sorry, while I'm here, support what Max is saying around empowering communities to make this deliver. of how we get to resource that. So I just thank you for your presentation and the recognition that council needs to step aside and enable communities to deliver. Thank you. Thanks, Alpha. I will speak to that item. Thank you.
No, Kapai, I don't know whether anybody had heard what I heard. I just heard a rap, which sounded really good because it was cutting out. But Max, I don't know if you understood, and Angela, if you could sort of just, yeah, I just heard the breaking up, the rap song. So I'll give you one more opportunity if that's okay.
I want to the item Alpha. Am I still breaking up? I am still breaking up. Oh, it's a shame. My internet connection.
Okay. I think we got the gist of it, which is supporting the kōrero that Max just did, but also the actual agenda item. Councillor Collins, pātai, and then whakaaro.
Thank you, Chair, and sorry, Chair, I'm a bit slow to type into the the chat box for my question. Kia ora, Max, and thanks for your presentation. I just wanted to ask, did you, as you were going through it, and apologies if you can hear Bubba in the background, as you were participating in this these discussions, and I recognise the comments you made around the Proud Centres, which was a really good example. The report's got some really telling, challenging ideas and statistics. Did you feel a sense of hope, and were you feeling enthusiastic that we can make some really genuine differences in the community? I personally think it's a great strategy, but I just wondered, how did the discussions go, and feeling like there was a real sense of energy around the possibilities that are in front of us? Did you have a particular sense?
Kia ora, Councillor Collins. Yeah, now that you kind of said it, it's really interesting. I think back to those couple of workshops that we did, and of course they were kind of over Zoom, so we didn't have that kind of beautiful connection in person. But I think, when we were discussing, across panels, so this was the Pacific panel, this was the youth panel, it was kind of things that, we had been, kind of banging on about to council for quite some time, of just, we, in community know the best solutions for the problems that we face. And so there was a lot of hope, I think, in those discussions, and there was a sense of actually maybe something's about to shift, and maybe something is actually going to change in the way that these kind of programs are delivered. And I think especially through, the impacts of COVID-19 that maybe weren't specifically felt by, rainbow communities, but, there were obviously, but, Pacific people and young people especially, they felt like that there was a really hopeful shift after some of the impacts of COVID-19 and their abilities to kind of, be empowered to I guess, not just understand the challenge that they face really intimately, but provide solutions for those. So, yeah, definitely think there was a lot of hope.
Councillor Collins, you can go straight to whakaaro.
Oh, awesome. I just wanted to say thank you very much for your presentation. I think it's wonderful to hear from you, Max, as well as getting a sense of how the discussions went with the diversity panels. I know that when the Pacific panels had we had a phone call, they were feeling really excited, and it was undergirded by a real sense of we've got to do something different. And Max, I think you cheekily, I think it was, I interpret it as a cheeky comment around council getting out of the way, and the Pacific panel had a very similar take on things too. And I think I say it was cheeky, but there's probably some truth to it in the sense that we can partner really well, but really allow communities to take full control of what they want to see happen. So I just want to say, I want to say thank you, because I know that from the Pacific panel's perspective, Chair, it was a really engaging conversation, and the ideas that they were starting to reflect on were really exciting. And so I just wanted to say thank you for all the diversity panels for really being engaged in this discussion, was really important. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Max.
Kia ora, thank you. So look, there's no further whakaaro, and it's been moved and seconded to thank Max, so I'll move the recommendation, I'll put it. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Kia ora, Max. Ka kite.